Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So what are the instructions that we have saw yesterday classes?
Add.
You can see my screen, right? Here from run, copy, add, environment variables, how we can set to our image, arguments, how we can pass the arguments to our images, right?
Yes,
Hello.
Sachin.
Okay. Still we have some more arguments. I mean, the Docker instructions. Okay. Give a minute. Hi, Vishnu. So what are the instructions that we saw till now? Docker instructions.
Docker instruction yesterday we saw like a copy and add and
What is the
environment
difference? Copy
like
add.
copy and add. Copy means only it will copy the file.
Hmm.
In add it will download the dependencies also in add.
So we have one more command that is instruction that is working directory. Okay. So what is meant by working directory? For example, you can see when I am creating an image or using image, for example, Docker images. Okay. Images we have this one. Okay. I will create one container now. Okay. One of the image. Okay. You can see once you logged in to your container, so you have created one container, and with if you run, I mean, if you create a container with IT, you can go inside a container. Now you are in inside a container. You can see the current working directory is root, right? So whatever the files we are copying or whatever the activities we are doing, that should not be in root. I want my files to be copied in separate directories. Okay. On that time, we can use working directory inside our Docker file. Okay. If you create a working directory, then it is not a root. Okay. Whatever the working directory you are mentioning in your Docker file, that will be your root directory. I mean, whatever the actions or activities you are performing inside a container, that should be in that working directory. Let's see how we can do. Okay. So Docker files. Inside Docker file, we have the working directory should be after from instruction. Okay. I'll give working directory, work directory like this, and I'll give slash app is my slash app. This is my working directory. Okay. Save this. And if I, what is the command to create an image? Docker build -t. So which need to give the name for my image. Okay. So give like working directory. So like this output, and it is some kind of this one. It's not able to download. Okay, now container image. Yeah, I'll show you. Okay, some of the tools. Okay, one more image created. Docker images. Okay, this is my image. I will create a container with this image. Okay, and your image name. It's the image name that I have created, right? Yeah, now you can see earlier if we install, I mean, if we go inside our container, your default will be root location, right? But now you can see we have given work directory as app. Okay, whatever the actions you are performing, that will be present in. I mean, if you create a file, that should be in your slash app folder. Okay, whatever the actions you are performing now, that's all should be in your slash app. And you are downloading some images or whatever the things you are mentioning in your Docker file, that should be also sample. Okay, here if you copy some files or if you run any commands, that should be if you say copy some war files if you want uh, to be in your container. Those are all whatever the below working directory slash app you are giving copy activities or move commands, whatever you are doing, that should be in a slash app. If you mention the work directory, then your default directory will be slash app. So once you get a inside a container. Okay, got it, guys?
Yes, Sachin.
So you got it. If you get confusion or if you have any doubts, please ask now itself. Okay, please understand completely.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so I have created one container now. Okay, what is that? I have created multiple commands. So now we have created multiple containers. Okay, how you will expose your container using ports, right? So earlier we are directly downloading the Jenkins or the Tomcat images from our Docker Hub, right? So for that, already ports are mentioning. With that port and with our host port, we are able to access the application. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Earlier, you guys remember, right? With the Jenkins image, we download the Jenkins image, and for that, already port number are there because that is a default image for Jenkins. With that port number, we have created our one port number, I mean host port using -p, right? With that, we can able to access our application. Yes or no? Similarly, if you're not giving any ports here, then your application will not able to access from outside the internet. I mean, with the internet, right? So we need to mention the ports for every application. Okay. If you guys have a question like who will give the port numbers, how we came to know how we need to configure the port numbers, don't worry. That is the developer work. Okay. Developer will give you the port number for that particular applications. Okay. Got it? So let's see how we can do that. Okay, I will do vi docker file and just you need to give port. Okay, what we need to give port. port 8080. Okay. Okay. So I will run image. Docker 20. Yeah, thank you. Yes, sorry. It's not port, guys. It's the expose. Sorry. If you want to give the port numbers, that is instruction is expose, not port. Okay, like this. Okay, now you have your image ready. Now you can create a container with it. Docker image name. What is image name? Okay, your image got created. See, your port number will be 8080, right? Earlier we don't have a port number. If you want to, we need to expose our application with the ports, right? So we need to mention port inside our instructions. So our port number will be 8080. Got it? How we can expose our application with the port numbers and how we can create our own, custom working directories. Get it?
Yes, Sachin.
Yes,
No, you got it right.
yes, Sachin.
Okay. These are all about your Docker instructions. If you want to create your own custom images, then we can use these are all Docker instructions. Okay. We can see how we can create an application with these images. Before that, we have some topics. Okay. Next, Docker multi-stage build we have. With that Docker multi-stage build, we can create our own custom images with the less memory, just storage. Okay. If you see images, okay, if you created images, you can see how much disk usage it is consuming, right? So to avoid this, we have multi-stage build. Okay, in multi-stage build, we can reduce our image size and we can create a containers. And with that container, we can access our applications. Okay, that we can see in the later classes. So these are all about the main Docker instructions that we can create. Using that, we can create our Docker images. Okay, so now, uh, as you need to go through the Docker Hub. Okay, log in with your Docker Hub. For example, like this, you can see how we can pull and push the images from our Docker Hub. Okay, just to go to Docker Hub. Okay, I already logged in with my Docker Hub. Okay, just click on Docker Hub and just give your Gmail and just pass your authentication. Okay, you can create your own Docker Hub. Okay, here you can see we have multiple repositories that I have created. Okay, if you want to create a repository inside a Docker Hub, just go here and create a repository. Okay, repository name you need to give. Okay, like Pyro something. Description is okay, fine. And you had two things. Okay, one is public. Okay, whenever if you give the public, then you don't have authentication to connect with the Docker Hub. If you click on private, then you need to authenticate. Okay, as of now, I'm giving a public and I will create my one of the registry. Okay, so you can see, guys, once you created the repositories, okay, first name is your username and then your repository name. Okay, so if you want to push your Docker images from your local means your EC2 instance or your Docker machine. Okay, you have multiple images here, right? Docker images. Okay, you have multiple images here. Now I want to push my one of the images, one or whatever the images you want, that you want to push it to the Docker Hub. Okay, so how we can do that? Okay, for that the prerequisite is like image name should contain your username and the repository. Okay. Right. Okay, for that the Docker your format should be docker.io. So whatever once you pushed your image right from your local, it will go and reach this Docker IO, Docker input output, which is in your Docker, then your username and your repo name with the tag. Okay, this is the format that your image name should be. Okay, so for that, as I told you, your image name should like this only. Your username Docker IO. Docker IO is not required. It is directly connected to the Docker IO. Then next, your image should be your username and the repo that which repo you want to push here. I was created multiple repos. You can see repositories. You have multiple repos that I have created, right? Different repositories. So your image should be go in which repository. So I want to push my image to this Miro repository. Okay. So I'm inside a Miro that we need to configure here. Okay. Just give your image name with the username, repo, which repo you want to push, and tag, whatever the tag you want to give. Okay. So for that, we have two things. Okay. If you want to push your images, one, whenever you are creating image, on that time only you can use -t and username slash your repo name with the tag that you can do. Or else I want to rename my images. Okay. So how to do that? If you want to rename your images, then what is the command? Docker tag you need to give and your old image. I'm using this old image. Okay. So your old image. This I need to give it my username and password. Okay. This is my old image name. The format should be, as I told, the format should be like this. You can see like this is the format. Your image name should be in this format. Okay. And then the tag. Tag you need to give. I will do v1.0. Okay. Not confusing. Yes. Okay. First class. and your username, repo name, or not found. After it is command docker spelling. After add his name, the, your username and repo. Okay. If you do this, it will work out. So Docker image, you, your name should be. Okay. Once you created your image with this name, okay. So first you need to authenticate with your Docker Hub, right? Then only you can push this image from your local to Docker Hub. So first for that we need to log in with your Docker Hub from your local. Okay. For that command will be docker login hyphen u your username. Okay, my username will be this. Once you do this, you need to give your password. Whatever the password you are giving for your you have given your Docker Hub that you need to give. Once it is done, you can see login succeed. And now once your login is succeeded. Okay. So once you login is succeeded, then we can push our Docker image. Okay. To push your Docker image, the command will be docker push and your image name. This is my image. Okay. You give like this. So it will push your image to your Docker hub. Okay. Once it is pushed to the Docker hub, now you can go and check in your Docker hub repo. Okay. If you see, you can see our image tag v1.0.0. This image is pushed to the Docker hub. Got it? How we can push our images to the Docker hub? Yes or no?
Yes. Then why we are pushing the Docker with these images?
So because it's your local, right? Anytime it may be crash or something, we need to store our images in our Docker Hub repo. Similarly, how our artifacts will store in artifact viz, right? So
Yes.
similar thing, you will push your images to your Docker Hub. So if you have, and that is one thing, and you have multiple team members in your team. Okay, they want to use this image to build their application or something. On that time, if they come you and again your how you will send your images to them. Okay, that is a bit complication, right? If you push your Docker images to your repo, then it will be easy for others also to use your images that you have created inside your organization. So to store your images, we have Docker Hub. Okay, that's how you have used your Jenkins, right? The Jenkins images, standard Jenkins images we have downloaded from Docker Hub, and we created a container and used that Jenkins application, right? From
Yes.
Docker Hub only we have downloaded. So like that, if you have created any images, then you can push it to your Docker Hub. From Docker Hub, you can create your application. I mean, you can download that and you can use that application. Okay,
Okay, Sachin.
this is how we can do. This is one thing, guys. Okay, Docker Hub is a one thing, and in many some of the organizations they are using Amazon's own registry. Okay, so Docker Hub, how we can store our images in a Docker Hub, right? Similar kind of one of the service we have in AWS, that is ECR. Okay, keep in mind. In the interview, they will ask you what are the different AWS services you have used. Okay, please that include ECR also. In case you can see later. ECR means Electric Container Registry. This is a registry where you can pull or push your Docker images with your Amazon. Okay, in your AWS account. Okay, here we have two types of authentication. The prerequisite here is we have two types of authentication. One is using session manager. Another is permanent connection. The second one. Okay, we can see now how we can authenticate, how we can push our Docker images to ECR. Before pushing the Docker images to the Docker hub or your ECR, we need to authenticate with your uh, Amazon, right? AWS, as this is your local. Okay. So if you want to connect with the, you will ask the question like, we are already in a AWS EC2 instance. Why we need to again connect to the AWS, right? So because this is only your EC2 instance, it is your server. Okay. If you want to connect it to the S3 and you can perform the actions, means how we can do, right? For that, if you want to, so it is your EC2 instance only. Okay, it is running in your AWS only. But if you want to connect with the other services like S3, or you want to connect with the ECR now, we need to first connect with the ECR, then only we can push our images, right? So similarly, we need to have the authentication with the other services. So if you want to connect with other AWS services and perform the actions in your local, then first we need to install AWS CLI. Okay. Before that, I will show you like how ECR will work. Okay, you can see create repository. Here you can click on create repositories. Okay, here you can give your any name. Here I will give the name like I can give any repo name. Okay, whatever the repo you ECR. So you can see here mutable and immutable. In Docker Hub, we don't have this option mutable and immutable. Mutable in the sense, so the images with the same names, okay, same tags, that will not going to accept. Okay, already it is not allow you to duplicate the images. Mutable means, okay, immutable means if you select a immutable, if there is a duplicate images with the same name and same tag, then your ECR will accept it. If you select a mutable, then your ECR will not accept the duplicate images with the same name and same tag. Okay. So encryption, I will choose AES 256. AWS, if you want to do the encrypt with the KMS key that we saw, we can do that also. Okay. Just I will create one of your repo. This is my home text slash dev. Okay. So here also the naming convention should be your image naming convention, like how we created, right? Like there should be a format for Docker Hub, similar kind of. If you want to push your ECR images to the ECR, there should be a format. Okay, what is that format? So you can see here while you created this one, your repo, you can see the URL here. Okay, you just copy paste this URL, copy this URL and come here and rename your images. Okay, the format should be this one, and like how we are giving right in Docker Hub, like username and repo tag, like this. You need to copy this one and you need to give the tag here. Okay, 1.1. 0. Okay, like this I will give. Okay. So first we need to change our image name. Image name should be like this only. This is coming from the repo that you have created here. URL. Okay. Go here and change the image name. Docker images. Like this images you have. So one of this I will give. Okay. Ubuntu ECR. What is the command to change this? Docker different tag, docker tag, and your image. Okay, this image only I will change now. Okay, it should be in a which format? This format, right? Okay, I will copy paste this one. The image one. If you see Docker images, the name should be in this. Okay, now I want to push this to my ECR. Before connecting to the ECR, as I told you, we need to install AWS CLI. If you want to connect from one server from your EC2 server, I mean EC2 instance, right? From your EC2 service to other service, if you want to able to do the any activities with other services, then we need to install AWS CLI. Okay, let's see how we can do the AWS CLI. Okay, for Linux, we need go here and execute this script. For that, we need to install unzip. Install unzip because we need to unzip that file. Okay, once you install the unzip file, you can execute this command. Okay, once you installed, you can check AWS version. AWS. Now you can see our AWS is installed. Okay. Once you install the AWS CLI, then we need to authentication. We need authentication, right? To connect your AWS. So for that, we need to configure your AWS. For that, we have a AWS configure. You click AWS configure, it will ask you the access ID and access tokens. Do you know, guys, how to take the access keys and access token? Yes or no? Team, guys, I'm asking you only.
No, Sachin.
Yes or no? Vishnu, I'm asking you guys only. Are you guys are sleeping or what?
No, Sachin.
Okay, please be attentive and responsive. I will show you how to get the access key and access token. Okay, go to IAM, create one user. I will give the administrator access for my user for now. Okay, once you have created your user, just click on your user and you can see security credentials here. And you can come here and create an access key. As you can see, click on create access key for CLI. And we need our access keys for CLI, right? AWS CLI. So just go here and click on next. Okay, now you can see your access key and token key. You can copy this somewhere because it should be visible only one time. Okay, your AWS access key. This is your secret key. Okay, once it is done, then you can copy this AWS secret key here. Here you can see here AWS access key. Just here it is ask the secret key. Just paste your secret key here. Okay, default is the name. It is your AP South. Okay, it is now configured. If you want to check AWS S3 less. Okay, if you give like this, put on to be on point. Okay, it is not configured. AWS configure. I'll give my access ID again. Configured. Yes, access key. Or ECR in. Where is my ECR? It's in AP South 1. South. Okay, now I don't have any buckets in my S3, so it is showing nothing. Okay, so now I can able to access my AWS with this one. Okay, so once we connected with AWS, then our agenda, what is our agenda? To push our image to ECR, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, Sachin.
Yes, yes.
to push our image to the ECR, once we configure our AWS configure after installing AWS CLI. Okay, we need to push our Docker image now. Okay. So before that, we need to authenticate with our, we have authenticated with the AWS now. Okay, once you have authenticated with the AWS, you can connect it with the AWS. Now we need to authenticate with your AWS ECR, right? So for that, we need to go to how to authenticate means, as I told earlier, two types. One is a permanent connection. I mean, one is a using session manager and permanent connection. Okay, we are now seeing the using session manager, how we can authenticate. Okay, so it is your repository. Go inside your repository and you can see view push commands. Okay, just copy this one and come here and execute. Simple. Okay, just click on this. You can see now you can able to access or you can able to log in with your credential to your ECR now. You can see login succeeded. Now you can push your image. Okay, simple Docker push whatever our images. This is my image. I need to push, right? So command will be Docker push and your command image. Okay, if you push, so your image is pushed to your ECR. If you go here and if you check in ECR, just reload it and you can find your image. Okay, V1.0. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, Sachin.
V1.0. This is how we can push our image. Okay, if you want to pull from your ECR, that is also fine. Okay, instead of Docker pull, just mention Docker push. Instead of Docker push, you can Docker use Docker pull. You can able to download this one. Okay, so no.
Yes, Sachin.
Okay, so your assignment will be today. Your assignment will be you guys. I showed you right while creating a images. I mean ECR. It is asking for your uh, mutable or immutable, right?
Yes.
So it's a we choose a mutable. So it will accept only the it will accept only the originals. Okay, it will not accept the duplicate images with the same name and same time. Okay. So you guys need to do, you guys need to check, okay, with the same images, you can try to push it. It will not going to accept it. It will throw an error. Okay. And choose a immutable also and send push multiple images with the same name. Okay.
Yes, Sachin.
Okay. And also like I'll give one more assignment to you guys. Okay. In your Jenkins, okay, you can create multiple stages. First stage will be your checkout. Okay. Then after checkout, you can build your application with the jar var files. And then next, using Docker build, you can build your application, can build your image, and you can push it into your Docker and deploy. These stages you need to include in your Jenkins, and you can do this activity in your Jenkins. Can you guys do it?
Yes, Sachin.
Okay. These two are your assignments. Please complete this assignment by today evening. Okay.
Yes, Sachin.
Okay, guys. Let's see you for today. Do you have any questions?
Hmm. Like Sachin, we are creating a Docker image. We need a Docker file. So Docker file is kept in one service. How can we use for other service that same Docker image without Docker file?
So I'm not understanding. You can ask in Kannada also. No issue. I will stop recording.
Okay.